Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Owoh's Corner, my own little corner of art. My name is Amobi, and I'm glad to say that I finally made it through spring semester. Now, if you guys don't know, I'm actually a senior student, and this upcoming semester was actually my spring semester, and I finished all of my courses. I passed them. I got an A in one class, two B's in another class, and then I think I got maybe one or two C's in the rest of my classes. But anyway, I did pass, and I do still have my summer semester to do. I have two courses to do, and then I also have University 4990, which I need a mentor for. And sadly, I am still looking for a mentor. It's been a little over a month now, and I still haven't found one. But I still have hope. I still think there's time to find one. Anyway, today's video, my grand return video, it's actually a bit of a different one because I'm actually going to be sharing a slideshow with you guys for a project in one of my courses. So one of my classes is Art 3850, which is art education. And for one of our projects, we had to make a slideshow on the contemporary issues in art. Essentially, we had to discover different present day artists, what they go through, and we had different themes like race and racism, police brutality, diversity, different things like that. And so the subject for this video is contemporary issues in art, race and racism, little known black artists. So, first let's break it up. We're going to be talking about true diversity versus faux diversity. Now, what is that? Faux diversity. Faux diversity, you mainly see it online. It is very glamorized. You have a bunch of people online saying, oh, this is a black artist, oh, this is a LGBTQ artist, and different things like that. You mostly see it on official Twitter accounts, YouTube videos, other content that brings attention to the fact that something or a piece of media, by virtue of having marginalized people, is diverse. And then you also have fan accounts and so-called activists who also talk about how things are diverse or how projects are diverse. And it's mainly bringing attention to diversity for diversity's sake. But when you scroll down these people's pages, then you're going to be seeing some very closed-minded things from them. So that is faux diversity. People who are talking about diversity or trying to promote diversity without actually, having substance to what they're doing or saying. Next is true diversity. Now, true diversities are creators or their projects that don't bring attention to the fact that the projects feature marginalized people. They are people who make projects that just so happen to focus on a black character or just so happen to have a gay character as the main character. So think like Michiko and Hachin or Samurai Champloo or Banana Fish. Animes like that and shows like that. These people often go under the radar or they aren't given any spotlight or attention. And these are people that have true diversity. So the difference, don't just talk about it, be about it. One or two Twitter posts isn't enough. Spread the word, like, comment, subscribe, share even, share the video. Even if you don't or can't back them financially, give them constructive criticism. or do something for them. But just a Twitter post here and there isn't really going to help them, because a lot of what we see is we see many professors and we see many people online. They draw attention to the fact that something is diverse. They may like a diverse character, or they might like a caricature of a diverse person, but in reality, people who are actually black, people who are actually LGBT, LGBTQ, and people who are marginalized, they themselves do not get a lot of focus. And you have this a lot in the education system too. There are a bunch of colleges, even my own college, they like to talk about how they're so diverse and how they want more people of color and more marginalized people. But when they actually graduate, those people aren't getting jobs. And the next slide is actually going to go over the statistics and history. So, time for some math. Zippia is a trusted career search and information website that performed a study. Links to Zippia will be on the references slide, as well as be placed in the description below. Zippia's research data that I drew from is between 2021 and 2022. There are about 7,100 animators currently employed in the US. Of them, only 3.9% of them are black or African American. And only 11% out of that 7,100 also identify as LGBT. Now, next, there are 4,650 concept artists employed in the US. Again, only 3.9% are black or African American. Now, these are some of the most notable black animators. Already off the boat, there are already just a few black animators at the very least. There are already so few black animators, and very few of them are showrunners or have worked on their own projects. Now we have Peter Ramsey. He worked on Rise of the Guardians. He created Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. He was the first ever African American to win an Academy Award for Best Animated Feature. You have Pillar Newton. She worked on Courage the Cowardly Dog. She worked on MTV's Daria. She runs her own studio, Pillar Tunes. You have Floyd Norman. He became the first African American artist to work at Walt Disney. He contributed to Sleeping Beauty, 101 Dalmatians, and the Jungle Book. He worked on several other Disney films as well, and he co-founded Vignette Films Incorporated. You then have Bruce W. Smith. He is the director of The Proud Family. He founded Jambalaya Studios. He's the supervising animator for Dr. Facilier in Disney's The Princess and the Frog. He also worked on Frozen and Wreck-It Ralph. Sonia Corey, she's the head of studio operations at Portfolio Entertainment. She was in charge of ink and paint department on The Princess and the Frog, Winnie the Pooh, and the Proud Family movie. She also worked on Ren and Stimpy. And finally, we have Lashawn Thomas. He worked on both Japanese and American productions and projects. He is the creator of Netflix's original anime / anime-inspired project Cannon Busters. And he was also the supervising character designer and co-director of Aaron McGruder's The Boondocks. Now, we see this a lot. And I actually showed this in the slide, but a lot of these black animators, they have either founded or co-founded their own animation studios. Mainly because they've had to. Look at the statistics I previously stated. 3.9% of animators and concept artists are black, and so now we have these black animators who have to make their own studios just to get work or just to spread their name. That is very surprising and concerning that they have to make their own studios. So few renowned black animators, and yet how many professors and companies tout inclusion and representation? All of them do, but none of them take the chance. They don't take the chance on people. And yes, we have to talk about this. This is something very serious and a very controversial topic because we don't want diversity for diversity's sake. We want to ensure that yes, there is quality, that yes, there is a sort of bar for people to pass. We do want quality shows. We do want things to look nice and be presented nicely. But at the same time, there are many black artists and black animators who just don't get the job or just can't get the job. And so, what do we do? What can we do? How can we ensure that people who choose to pursue art, who choose to pursue animation, can get a job with some form of company or with some form of studio, and they don't have to build a studio or build a workplace from the ground up? Now, let's get into some Sub-Saharan Africa history and a few facts. Now, I used to be an anthropology minor, anthropology being the study of culture. Although, despite my change in minor, I still have the understanding of their principles, and I even incorporate anthropology into my art at times. When I'm making a character concept or when I'm trying to animate something, I like to think and reflect on that character's culture and what kind of family or household they grew up in. It is my belief that one's history, the conscious and subconscious knowledge of that culture, affects what you do and how you act. When you know where you come from, you know how to carry yourself. And your new aura, your new atmosphere can be overtly or subtly seen in what you do and what you produce. Africa, especially Western and Central West Africa, is home to some of the oldest tribes and peoples of the world. Many African stories are of an oratorical nature. Their art, the way they weave their statues and idols, mouth rings and mouth plates, colors and patterns they use, even how they craft their weapons and weave their garbs, the slight differences and variations, the intricacies, are how they denote their tribe and their role within their tribe or clan. During that time period, art really wasn't a thing. Now, I shouldn't say art wasn't a thing, but how they designed things is was indicative of who and where they belong to. You have to remember that all of the artifacts you see, it was a mother or it was a father sitting down and teaching their children how to do this right, how to make this right, how to cook this or that. And there is a specific reason or there is a specific identifier culturally as to why they do things or why they shape things the way that they did. And it's just said that oftentimes when people talk about African history, people commonly think of African American history, which is slavery, R&B and soul, rap music, work hymns, different things like that. But the history of Africa in and of itself is very vast and diverse. And it is far deeper than a people who was brought to another continent. Now, let me, now that I've gone over some facts, some history, now that I've gotten on my soapbox and I've preached to you all for the day, it's about time I actually brought up and mentioned some actual black artists that you can follow and look at today. And I just want you guys to know that keep in mind this was a project for a class of mine. So I can't list all of them in detail, but the ones I did list and the ones that I did find, I took extra care. And in the end, I do have a list of references as well as some honorable mentions of animators and I do have honorable mentions of black artists and animators that I think you guys should look at their social medias and look at what they produce. First up, Oni Pixels. So his screen name is Oni. He says he's 22 years old and he is a self-taught artist. He says that he is still learning the ropes but hopes to become a well-known artist and illustrator one day. Now this is some of Oni Pixel's works and you can definitely see that he has taken inspiration from anime. You see a lot of sharp lines, well defined characters, and line art. He certainly has potential, and I really like his art style and his attention to detail. I do think that he needs to work on his shading some more. And yeah, honestly, that's it. He just needs to work on his shading some more. But pretty much everything else, the furls and ruffles in the clothing, the colors, everything is pretty nice, pretty good, and pretty well drawn. I really enjoy and I really like his art. Next, we have Black Myth Studios, and he is on Instagram. His full name is Stephen Linton. He sadly does not put any more personal information on his bio. He has skill sets in animation, illustration, and graphic design. Most of his posts are character sheets and different viewpoints of those characters. And this is just a sample of some of his works. This is really nice, really good work. 351 followers, well earned. And even though he doesn't provide an age on his bio, you can tell that whether it's through sheer time spent or study and reflection, his art and his quality of art shows years of experience and dedication to his craft. He shows a very diverse range of character features from different monsters to different viewpoints to different facial expressions. I really like his line weight. I really like his shading. Um, and yeah, he's just a really good artist. It shows that his character art, his art and concept designs, they look as though they are more geared towards animations, or I don't want to say simplistic, but short comics, as they have detail, but it's not too detailed and the shading isn't too dynamic. These images look as though they can quickly, easily, and readily be reproduced for different projects. And that is what I enjoy. I really enjoy his art, and he is an amazing artist. You should definitely check him out. Next, we have Art of Necco, and she is actually a Twitter artist. Sadly, I do not think that she is a consistent poster. She certainly tweets regularly. She certainly tweets regularly, but I do think that she is half a meme channel and half an art channel. She is not a sole art posting channel. But for the works that she does do, she shows amazing diversity and love for her craft. So these are some of Art of Necco's works. And you can see that she has a love for anime. She definitely has a love for anime as well as geek slash gaming culture. I like her in her most recent works, which is the Zenitsu and the Sailor Moon art. That is her most recent, most up to date art piece. You can see that she has grown in her shading. She has definitely learned to vary between blurred shading and then hard shading. She has amazing attention to detail. She has a nice use of colored line art in tandem with standard black line art. She knows how to use glares, effects, different things like that. And from her oldest artwork, which is Tess, to her most recent, which is Sailor Moon, you can definitely see an almost night and day variation between ability, composition, and everything in the such. She certainly has a attention to she certainly has an attention to attractiveness when she is drawing. She is certainly focused on the characters the characters, for the lack of a better word, sexuality and form or figure. Her characters and how she designs and draws, it is meant to be very attractive and look aesthetically pleasing. So, yes, she definitely has a lot of potential as well as the ability to grow and become better. And so these are the three artists that I chose because I was required to only choose three, but I decided to go a step ahead, and these are some more artists that you can look at. Some honorable mentions. You have Love Cherries on Twitter. You have Cameron on Dollard on Twitter. Little Dark Vixen Art on Twitter. Love Vanny on Twitter. Art Cures All on Instagram. And Nessa Sweet on Instagram too. And there are also other artists like Raw Sushi and yeah, just other black artists that you can look at. Now, these are my references. We have references to Zippia.com for the animator jobs, Then for the concept artists, I also did some research on history, as well as looking at notable black artists and animators and different things like that. So, yes, this is actually probably the longest video I've done. I'm at 27 minutes. I'm almost reached to 30 minutes. Now I do have to. Anyway, this has been really fun, and I enjoyed making this video. I enjoyed doing this and just sharing some more black artists and animators with you guys. This was for a school project, but I thought, it's a nice concept. I might as well just turn this into a video essay, make this a video, and share it with you guys. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys find some more black artists. I hope you guys, I don't know what you guys are going to do with this information, but I just thought I'd share what I've learned and what I've researched. Anyway, this has been Owoh's Corner, my own little corner of art. I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.